This is SuperYacht News. In association with Go Earth, navigating boat buyers to better deals.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to beautiful Sicily. We've got a few stories for you on this Friday. First one is coming from Turkey, from Bodrum in Turkey. A yacht suddenly explodes after refueling. This happened around 9:30 in the morning local time on Wednesday, 4th of June, just this Wednesday. As you can see in the video footage here, the explosion occurs at the refueling dock shortly after they had finished refueling. According to the authorities, the boat was a 12-meter long motor yacht named Aslan. Now, amazingly, after seeing this explosion, you wouldn't think anyone would survive, right? There are actually 3 people hurt in this explosion. 2 of them were on board the vessel. One of them was actually on the quayside, probably the guy who was doing the refueling. The cause of the explosion is being investigated. One local report said there had been an apparent gas leak when started the engine, which caused the detonation. Horrific explosion there, but amazingly, 2 of the people on the boat sustained injuries, and the guy on the shore side, like I said, was injured also. But they're all in hospital getting treatment in the local Bodrum hospital, and they're all expected to make a full recovery, which is quite amazing, really, when you consider the state of that boat after the explosion. All right, we'll move on. Big news here. Motor yacht Luna has been placed on the market. This is something that we've heard rumors about for the last couple of months. We've spoken to various different people. Some people have told us that it was not for sale, that the owner was planning to enjoy the vessel. You know, the owner, Farkad Akhmedov, has not been able to use this yacht for years. It was stuck in Dubai for 3 years while he had a contested divorce settlement with his ex-wife. That went on for, like I said, about 3 years, so he didn't use the yacht at all in that time. And then the vessel, as soon as that was dealt with, he sold the vessel back to Germany for a refit. He went into Lursen to be refitted because it had been out in Dubai for 3 years with no refit. And then he was placed on the sanctions list and the boat was impounded again, unbelievably. So he had, again, another 2 years with no use of that boat. He's finally decided to call it a day and put the vessel on the market. Now, the yacht's a 115-meter or 492-foot super yacht built by Lloyd Werft in Germany, delivered in 2010, originally ordered by Roman Abramovich. Now, the asking price for this vessel, hold on to your beer, 270 million euros. That's a lot of money. It was last refit in 2015, 2016, had a year-long refit in Germany in 2015. It was actually in refit, like I said, when he was sanctioned. So now that those sanctions are over, I believe the vessel is going to complete that refit. So be bang up to date. As it can carry 18 guests across 9 cabins and has a crew of 51. Now, also, there's a list of features here. Some of the top features of this boat has twin MCA certified helipads, not 1, but 2 helipads. You know, 1 forward and 1 aft, and both have fire suppression systems and full nighttime landing certification, which is quite incredible for a yacht to have 2. Some of the other features, a 12-meter by 5-meter swimming pool on the aft deck there. Now, originally when this boat was built, it was meant to be a replacement for Le Grand Bleu, but it was meant to carry a sailing boat and another smaller boat on the stern section like Le Grand Bleu did. But something to do with the stability, I believe, at the time, and they realized that they wouldn't be able to do it, and that it never had that supply. So, but it has this big, long aft deck area there, so they put this massive pool in instead. Has a gross tonnage of 5,600 gross tons. Ice class hull, so you can take it down to the Antarctic if you so wish. It does a top speed of 17 knots. Oh, sorry, it does a cruising speed of 17 knots. And a top speed of 22 knots and a range of 9,500 nautical miles, which is incredible. That's like across the Atlantic, across again, and then cross back again. So, you know, that's quite a range. Has 0-speed stabilizers as well. Now, there's one thing to be noted about this vessel. There's a couple of reasons if you're thinking about buying this vessel. There's a couple of things to take into account. Lots of vessels like this now being bought and put onto the charter market. This vessel cannot be put onto the charter market. During that refit in 2015, it's understood that the owner had took the vessel out of its original class, had a commercial class on it, which meant that it could be used as a charter vessel. To make it more cost effective, let's say, he took it out of that class and made it and registered it as a private yacht. That means you cannot charter this yacht. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, if you wanted to put it back into the class, you can't. Once you take a vessel out of its class, out of its registration for, you know, all of the facilities on board, you can't put it back in. You have to put it back in on the modern rules and regulations, right? You can't take it, but you can't say I want to put it back in for the class of 2010 when it was originally registered. So this vessel, you'd have to spend millions on that vessel to put it into the latest class. It would probably, it can be, anything can be done if you throw enough money at it, but it's just, you know, it wouldn't be worth buying it for that reason if you wanted a charter. Another thing that you need to bear in mind is that the vessel has a lot of the former crew when the boat was sanctioned, or when the owner was sanctioned, a lot of the crew never received their final pay. This is an ongoing thing now. I know that there's a UK union involved, Nautilus is involved in trying to recover that money. The vessel was going to be arrested because of that outstanding money, but the Lursen wouldn't allow the people into the shipyard to do that. So once that vessel leaves that shipyard, it's probably going to get arrested. So it's going to have that lien against the boat for the unpaid money. It's not an awful lot in the scheme of things. If you're going to buy a 270 million euro yacht, then I'm sure you can afford $1 million or so for the pay, million euros or whatever. But it's, you know, definitely need to bear that in mind, that that money has not been paid still. All right, we got one update in the last episode of Super Yacht News. We talked about a small yacht in Sardinia, and the owner was charged with smuggling. And I said it's probably to do with the fact that the boat's overstayed its welcome in the EU. It's a Marshall Islands flagged vessel. We had contact from somebody who told us that in actual fact, that is basically what's happened. The vessel was unable to be sailed out of the country because it's in the shipyard right now, having some repairs done. And, you know, he just overstayed his welcome, and then he's been charged with this charge of smuggling, even though it's, you know, he didn't smuggle anything. He just kept the boat in Italy too long. Oh, we've got one other thing, actually, which is an update on a story we did last year. We did a story about a young girl who was wakeboarding in Florida. She was in Nixon Beach Sandbar in Biscayne Bay in 2024. She was wakeboarding behind this boat. She fell into the water, and then she was hit by a passing boat and killed. And the chap who was driving that boat says he didn't even know he hit anybody, and he just continued on his way and went home. 79-year-old Carlos Alonso was the driver of that boat, or the operator of that boat. He's now been charged with careless operation of a vessel. Also, the person who was driving or operating the boat that she was being towed behind on the wakeboard, he's also been charged with the same thing. He's 31-year-old Edmund Hartley, his name is, and he was operating the vessel that was towing the teen on a wakeboard. He was also charged with careless operation of a vessel, and both men have pled not guilty. So that's just that one last update. So it's a Friday now. We've got a Friday yacht spot. First boat we've got on the list is 67 meter or 220 foot sailing yacht Vertigo. Now this vessel, I believe, is owned by Rupert Murdoch. You might know him. It sleeps 12 guests and it has 11 crew. It's built in 2011 by Alloy Yachts in New Zealand. And the yacht has a gross tonnage of just under 1,000 gross tons, which is huge for a sailing yacht. It also has a tender that can go into the stern section. I've never seen that on a sailing yacht before, big tender like that. The photos were taken in Halifax in Nova Scotia in May this year, and the photographer said he'd rather not have his name out there. So we'll move on now. We'll go to San Diego. We've got some new footage of Motia Amadea, still stuck in that legal case. The chap who says he owns the vessel, Edward Kudenitov, has appealed against the court decision that said that he was not the owner. The judge ruled in favor of the government. He's put an appeal in on that anyway, but this is Amadea here in San Diego. And also a couple of other boats in there. Hodor is one of them. It's a support vessel, obviously named after a chap from a famous TV show, which name escapes me right now. I never watched it, Game of Thrones. And we'll move on to Nuuk in Greenland. We've got La Dacha here. This is a Russian-owned yacht. Oleg Tinkov is the chap who owns this vessel. These photos were sent in by Larry Luke. There's another vessel in that photograph there. It's Legend. That vessel has just been sold. We did a video on that recently. So the vessel's been sold. It's going to be used as an exclusive cruise ship. That has got a nice class hull. I believe La Dacha also has a nice class hull. It's an Explorer yacht built by Damon yachting in 2020, 77 meters or 252 foot. We'll move on now to Japan. We've got Kobe in Japan. This is motor yacht Infinity. This is a massive 117 meter or 383 foot yacht built by Ocean Co in 2022 for a price of approximately $280 to $300 million. This vessel is owned by Eric Schmidt, not Schmidt, the chap who bought Whisper or bought the old Kismet and renamed it Whisper, different person. Now this vessel is a large vessel, but it apparently is not too large to need a support vessel. And he also owns motor yacht Intrepid, which is also seen in the photographs here. It's a 70 meter or 69 meter, 227 foot yacht, also built by Damon with a value of around $40 million. So there you go, guys. A quick look around the world at some of the yachts sent in by you. If you've got any footage you want to send in, you can use it. You can send it into this address in the ticker here. You can send information to us to this email here. If you want to talk to us anonymously, you can send us. There's a link in the description of this video for Threema, which is completely anonymous. You can send us information without telling us your name or your phone number or anything like that. You can also get a WhatsApp number in there too. Be sure to check us out on patreon.com/eSysman. We're still doing loads of videos on there, almost one video every day. We're doing on there right now while we're down here in Sicily. Check that out. We've had quite a few new subscribers or new followers on there in the last month or so. I think we've had like 10 or 12 new paid subscribers, so check it out. And be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. We just hit 325,000 subscribers. So thank you for everyone who subscribed up until this date. Appreciate it. Check out our other channels as well. In actual fact, we just amalgamated. In the last video I mentioned that we were thinking about taking the podcast channel and adding it to this channel. We've done that now. We've released the latest podcast on the channel. Every week we're gonna release one of the old ones until we get up to date, just so we don't bombard you with notifications for videos. So I think there's 8 other podcasts that we'll release, so look out for that also. And check out our 3 Minutes of Maritime. There's a link in the description here. We do those. We don't do those enough actually. Which we're aiming to do one a month. At the moment we're not doing that, but we're gonna try and pick up on that as well. Put out more videos on that channel. And check out, we also have, if you want to watch this in small sections, check out our SuperYacht news channel as well. All right, guys, it's Friday from Sicily. So, well, it's Friday everywhere, but from Sicily, thanks for watching and have a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.